I'm pleased to be joined on Pioneers Pregame Live by the manager of your Elmira Pioneers and Andy Drum ahead of tonight's ball game versus the Auburn Doubledays. Coach, a great outing for Garrett last time against the Geneva Red Wings on Friday night. What are you looking to see from Roshan as he makes the start tonight?
Garrett's always a competitor. He comes out ready to compete every single night. You know he's going to pound the strike zone, attack the hitters early, so we expect big things out of Garrett tonight as well.
How impressive in terms of maturity and the leaps has Garrett taken from year one to year two?
He's taken huge leaps, actually. Like, he was a dog for us last year. You know he's going to go out and compete every single game, but he's really become a leader this year. He's trying to set the tone for all the rest of the starting pitchers.
And it seemed as if his last appearance, he went very fastball heavy versus Geneva. Do you look to see him replicate a little bit of that tonight or going with a bit of a different pitch repertoire making the start?
I think he'll mix things up against this team. Auburn likes to kind of just slap the ball around the park, steal bases, and that's their style of play. So I think he's going to mix it up a little bit, keep these hitters off balance all night.
And you mentioned the stolen bases there. What are you looking to do best tonight to control Auburn, which has been a very potent offense against you guys so far this year?
Big thing is we got to mix in a slide step every once in a while. Slide step, mix up our looks on the mound. They steal all the time. They get a runner on first. It doesn't matter, 0-0 count, 2-0, they're stealing bases. So we got to do our best to minimize the damage and hold that runner on first.
On the positive side, you guys have struck out less than 6 times per every 9 innings in the opening 23 ball games this season. What does that attribute to offensively for you guys?
We have really good bat-to-ball skills on this team. Big thing I've been preaching today during batting practice was we need to focus on line drive approach. We only have 32 extra base hits out of 177 hits, which is 18%, which is terrible at this point. So we don't have the guys that are going to drive the ball around the park and hit doubles and triples, except a couple guys. So we got to stick to our approach, slap the ball around, steal bases, bunt, move guys over, and manufacture runs any way possible.
Accounting for those 32 extra base hits, a good percentage of them, about 60%, are the trio of John Simmons, Aiden Grabowski, and TJ Grimesti. How much of a spark plug are those three to your lineup as we enter the second half?
Those guys have been great. I know John's been a little cold the last week. He had a really good BP today. Michael Palmer stepped up. He's been a great 4-hitter for us this last 4 or 5 games. Finds ways to hit the ball hard with runners in scoring position. Had 3 sack flies on Sunday, so Michael's been a big part of the middle of the lineup.
Do you find that to be a bit of a tough decision? You have a great defensive first baseman in Brooks Hicken, but also a power hitter in Palmer?
Yeah, it's tough. Palmer's played pretty good defensive first base as well this year, but it's just so tough to keep his bat out of the lineup right now. Everything he hits seems to be barreled up.
In terms of offensive production in the last 18 summers of Pioneers baseball, 60 hits leading the way in an individual season record. Do you think TJ Grimesti could eclipse that, potentially already at 30?
Yeah, he's got a shot. And the crazy thing with those other records, too, is those were during 50 and 52-game seasons. So TJ's doing it with a shorter season. Everything he hits seems to be barreled up. He doesn't miss-hit the ball very often. Just has a really good approach at the plate, too. Keeps his barrel in the zone a long time.
You mentioned earlier today you were a little bit bothered by this losing streak. What's bothering you as opposed to maybe losing streaks earlier this season or compared to when you guys were winning all those ball games a couple weeks ago?
It's more or less just the way that we're losing. We're not competing. We're not playing with heart and pride. And we preached that to him in the clubhouse last night after the game. Like, we got to start playing with some heart. This getting mercy ruled 4 times over the last week and a half, it's not going to work. There's too much talent on this team to be losing games the way that we are, so we got to get back to playing our style of baseball, being gritty, being some dogs out there, and manufacture runs.
Do you think the home atmosphere of Dunn Field on a fireworks night like tonight could really help propel the team?
Oh, I think so. I know our record at home, I think we're 8-4 right now, so we seem to play really well at home. Hopefully the crowd will fire us up, and these boys will go out there and put on a good show. In
terms of the pitching staff, where do you evaluate and assess this team as opposed to where they stood maybe halfway through last summer?
The biggest issue I have with the pitching staff right now is those big innings. Like, when we have a bad inning, it's not 1, 2, 3. It ends up being 5, 6, 7 runs. And with the way that we're hitting the ball right now, we're not driving the ball into the gaps. So it's tough for us to come back when we're down 5, 6, 7 runs. We have to try and chip away one at a time, and it's so tough to come back when we give up a 5 spot in the first inning.
You mentioned the big innings. Do you think that's more mental or physical right now?
I think it's a more mental thing at this point. Like, we just got to think, like last night, we had bases loaded, 1 out. It's like, just minimize the damage. Try and get a ground ball into a double play, get a strikeout, just compete. But we can't keep walking guys and giving up free runs. I think 8 guys walked last night, 6 of them scored. So it's just too many free base runners that are scoring.
Offensively, what are some of the holes that you look to address beginning in tonight's ball game? Is it the extra base hits or maybe better plate approaches?
The big thing is better plate approach with a runner in scoring position. A couple times last night we had bases loaded or runner on third, runner on second with less than 1 out, and we're just not getting the guys in. So, especially some of these one-pitch at-bats, we come up with runner in scoring position, 1 pitch, fly out to the shortstop, or roll over to the third baseman. So maybe being a little bit more patient at the plate when we have runners in scoring position, trying to find a good pitch that we can put a barrel on and hit hard.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.